Do you ever have one of those weeks where you get back from your local comic shop and you look at your stack of books and you realize that like 5 of the 6 issues that you picked up were all issue number 1s? That happened to me this week. Marvel came out with a lot of new stuff. They're always relaunching series, right? And as much as we all like to say that we want for legacy numbering to be the only thing going on, we want a bunch of series with over 100 issues. We want to see Amazing Spider-Man actually with the real legacy numbering. I feel like the number 1s actually do get people more excited, because I was realizing this is the most excited I've been for a week of comics in a long time. I'm just saying, but let's roll the intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This week I'm bringing you episode 82 of my brand new comics haul series. This is a series where every week when I grab the new releases I'm going to be grabbing from my local comic shop, I show you guys every issue I got and I tell you a little bit about every single issue. As you can see, pretty hefty haul this week. I've got 7 issues in total, so a lot of reading to get through and a lot of number 1s like I mentioned in the intro. We're going to start off with Marvel Comics, probably the biggest release of the week that a lot of people have been hyping up for a long time now. This is Spider-Man number 1, so straight up the most simple title you could have for a Spider-Man title, and probably the most simple cover you could have with a white background and everything. But we've got Dan Slott back on Spider-Man. This is an ongoing series as far as I know, and it's basically just going to be Peter Parker's second ongoing series. Obviously, Amazing Spider-Man is the main ongoing. Mark Bagley doing the artwork in here. So this is definitely a theme for Marvel and Spider-Man right now, is bringing back creators who've done work on the character before, because Zeb Wells and John Romita Jr. are doing the main title. They've both also worked on Amazing Spider-Man. But Spider-Man, the End of the Spider-Verse, I guess, is the idea behind this. So we've got this kind of like third installment in the whole Spider-Verse saga we've had so far. There's the original Spider-Verse, which was written by Dan Slott. And then there's Spider-Geddon that happened a few years ago. This new one is only going to be contained within this Spider-Man title. As far as I've seen so far, there haven't been any tie-ins announced or anything. Curious to know you guys' thoughts on this if you already read it, and definitely look out for my review coming out later today. Yeah, that's Spider-Man number 1. But next up from Marvel Comics, this isn't actually a number 1, I will admit, but it is kind of like a one-shot starter to a big thing that Marvel's doing. This is Miracleman number 0. So they also came in with a nice cover quality for this one. So don't be fooled by the number 0. This isn't actually necessarily where you should start with Miracleman. I don't know anything about this character, so I really only picked up this number 0 issue, kind of hoping I could get some background context. From what I've heard so far, though, it doesn't really provide that. This is just a collection of a bunch of short stories. I was looking inside. It looks like they're usually like 5 or 10 pages each. By some big talents from Marvel, we've got like a Ryan Stegman story in here. I saw that Leinil Yu at least drew one. I'm not sure if he wrote it. But there's also a framing sequence which is done by Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham, who are the writer and artist duo behind Miracleman. So if you guys have some knowledge on this and you have a quick explanation, definitely let me know a little bit more. I'm curious about this character down in the comment section below. But that's Miracleman number 0. Let's continue on with Marvel Comics here. The next issue that I've got here is the start of a brand new story arc, and this is Hulk number 9. So we've got Donny Cates finally back on, I mean, he was always on writing for this series, although it's been a while since an issue has come out. The last issue of this series was the wrap-up to the Banner of War story arc, and now finally Thor and Hulk are both starting back up. Donny Cates, though, has been slacking a little bit on his Marvel writing. I don't know what exactly the deal is. He's probably just busy at Image writing the new Vanish series, as well as whatever other stuff he's putting out on Substack right now. Hulk, though, I guess he's still steady with. Ryan Ottley is still drawing this, coming in for the new story arc called Hulk Planet. And I really can't tell you guys too much about this. Basically, though, so far in this Hulk series, we've had like this kind of psyche split up. This interesting concept where it's called Starship Hulk, where Bruce Banner is inside the mind, kind of like the, what do you call it, mindscape, I guess, of Hulk. He has this control room where he actually controls the physical form of Hulk. That's why it's called Starship Hulk. I'm curious to see what they do with this new arc, though. That's Hulk issue number 9. Moving on with Marvel, though, I've got a couple more issues from them before we get to a couple number 1s that I bought from Image this week. But the next one from Marvel this week is X-Men number 1. So this is an Axe Judgment Day tie-in. Nick Klein is doing all these like connecting covers for these one-shots that are supposedly story essential one-shots. I'm gonna go ahead and debunk that claim. The Avengers one that they put out last week did not really matter, I'd say, in like the grand scheme of Judgment Day. All it was really was like this team of Eternals, X-Men, and Avengers like a mix and match of a bunch of different members of those three teams going together inside of this celestial who's deemed humanity unworthy, giving them the thumbs down, which is kind of the premise behind Judgment Day. It's now decided that it's going to destroy the Earth. They were like going inside to, I guess, derail the celestial before it can actually cause humans any harm. And it was just like a character study on Iron Man that I didn't really care for. I'm not the biggest Iron Man fan, to be completely honest. This one looks like it's focusing on Jean Grey, so hopefully it's a little bit better than that Avengers one is. But don't be fooled by Marvel marketing this and saying that you need to get these one-shots in between number 5 and 6 of Judgment Day. That's just not true. I really don't recommend them so far, but we'll see. That's X-Men, the Judgment Day tie-in, issue number 1. Alright then, and the last issue I picked up from Marvel Comics this week, before we get on to the Image number 1s, was Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor number 5. So I rode this all the way through. To be completely honest, I maybe am kind of second-guessing my decision to do so. I just don't really like the writing all that much from Torun Grønbekk. I feel like she uses way too many words in her stories, way too much like description of characters and stuff, and what could have been a really good follow-through with the premise that we've got here just fell a little bit flat, which makes me a little bit skeptical about the new Thor story arc coming up, but I'll still pick that up and see how it is. Basically, though, we've got like every single Thor villain that you could think of attacking Asgard all at the same time, and it's turned out that they've all been led by Ares, the god of war, was kind of the cliffhanger at the last issue, which I wasn't expecting. Ares making a mark in the Marvel Universe right now. He's also the main villain in Punisher, but this is the last issue, Jane Foster and the Mighty Thor number 5. But now that we've got all those Marvel titles out of the way, let's get into Image. These are probably the titles I'm the most excited for this week, to be honest, besides that Spider-Man number 1. But this one is a new ongoing series as far as I know. This is Dark Ride number 1. So I don't know if you can really tell from the camera here, but this is a thick issue, and we have a cardstock cover. I was counting the pages up. You get like a double-sized issue, and the cardstock cover all for $3.99. Once again, Image Comics proving that they really have the best quality for the best prices in the entire industry, time and time again. I'm excited for this one, though. Basically, we've got like this kind of haunted theme park. There was always supposed to have like kind of a hellish theme to itself, but turns out there's actually more sinister things going on in the background. Can't really tell you guys much more than that, but I do know that it's written by Joshua Williamson, who I always hear such great things about what he's doing at DC. He's writing that whole Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths event right now. He had like a Batman run and a bunch of other stuff, so people are always saying such great things. I don't actually buy anything DC, but now that he's got a new Image independent comic coming out, it was the perfect chance to try out some Joshua Williamson stuff, and the premise looks really cool. If you guys want a review of this one, definitely let me know down in the comment section. I'm excited to read it. That's Dark Ride number 1. Alright, only one issue left. It is another brand new debut from Image Comics in issue number 1. I do appreciate all of you guys who have watched all the way till this point in the video. You guys are the best for sticking around this long. This last issue, though, this is Junkyard Joe number 1. Another cardstock cover. I know I'm really harping on this right now, but Image Comics seriously has the best quality, especially those Spawn titles that only cost $3. This one costed $5, though, but I think you still get like the pages you're supposed to for that price. And this is part of the whole Unnamed universe. That's what they've called it. So this is kind of like a sequel to that Geiger miniseries that came out about a year ago. It's been a while since we've had any installments in this universe, but we've got the Geiger creative team coming back on board for this new Junkyard Joe series. This is set during the Vietnam War. We've got this like robot soldier named Junkyard Joe, and I guess that's where our premise starts and where Joe enters the fray. Whatever happens is going to happen from there. But we also know that in this same universe, the same timeline, all the way in the future, I think it was like the 2050 or 2060, this guy named Tariq Geiger had these like radioactive powers. He lives in the post-apocalyptic radioactive future, right? So this is kind of putting together a timeline of these unnamed heroes, like the title of like this universe, and they're connecting them all together. So we like saw Junkyard Joe at the end of Geiger fighting him, having been like rebuilt or something like that. I forget what happened at the end of Geiger. That's Junkyard Joe number 1. Well, there you go. That was every single one of the brand new issues I ended up picking up this week for New Comic Book Day. A lot of new number 1s here. Which issues are you guys looking forward to? Which ones did you like the most if you already read your issues? Let me know all that good stuff down in the comments section below. And also, if you guys did enjoy the video, if you got some good enjoyment out of it, you can support the channel a little bit further by clicking the subscribe button down below. Also, if you're not already subscribed, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next week. Bye, guys.